listening to a G-Funkster production. G-Funkster. G-Funkster.
Welcome to Spyder Auto's step bar installation guide for the Honda Pilot. Here we have the contents of your step bar kit. Here's a complete list of everything you should have. Here you can see we have all of our hardware and brackets all laid out neatly. The one thing that isn't included here is our impact wrench and our 13 and 16 millimeter sockets. Here we've laid out the brackets about where they'll go. The front bracket is mounted here. Let's take a slightly closer look. Now for the rear. It's important to note that when you install the rear, you slide it under the fuel line. If you install it over the fuel line, you'll have serious fuel issues. Now let's get ready to mount the first bracket. Take a look here. These two plastic rivets are where we'll mount the front step bar bracket. Use a small screwdriver or something similar to push in the center of the rivets to unlock them. Then use a panel popper tool to pry them free. These holes are threaded by the Honda factory, so our bolts will go right in. Now to install the first bracket. Hold the bracket in place and then install one of the 13 millimeter bolts to about finger tight to support the bracket while we're working. Throughout the installation, you'll notice that we only tighten the bolts to about finger tight. This will allow us to adjust the bars. We'll tighten everything up at the end. Now that the bracket's supported, we need to install the two remaining 13 millimeter bolts. Remember, install them to only about finger tightness as you want to be able to adjust the brackets. Alright, now let's start the rear bracket. Locate the two rear plastic rivets. As with the front, use a screwdriver or something small to push in the center of the rivet to unlock it. Then, as before, use a panel popper tool to remove it. Now to mount the rear bracket. Install the bracket under the fuel line. Again, do not install it over the fuel line as this will cause issues. As we did with the front, we'll install a couple of bolts to support the bracket while we're working. Adjust the bracket as necessary to get the front set of bolts to thread. We'll install the inner bolts through the elongated set of holes. This will allow the bracket to slide back and forth. Install the remaining two 13 millimeter bolts in the outer set of holes on the bracket, for a total of 4 13 millimeter bolts per bracket. Now we can mount our bars. Lay out one of the bars on top of the brackets. If the mounting holes in the bar and bracket don't line up, you have the wrong bar. Swap it for the other one. Seat the side step bar. The mounting holes should line up with the brackets. Notice how the mounting holes on the bar line up with those of the brackets. That's how we know we have the right bar. Now for the hardware. Grab 4 of the fatter 16 millimeter bolts and install them about finger tight into the bar. Again, we still need to leave some room for adjustment. Now let's move to the front. Now that we've installed all the bolts and adjusted the step bars to our liking, it's time to tighten everything down. Remember, these bolts are going to be supporting your weight or that of a passenger, so be sure all of your bolts are securely tightened. And that's it for this side. Repeat the process for the other side and you're finished. Let's have a look at our work. Congratulations, you've successfully fitted your Honda Pilot with a set of Spyder step bars. Videography, editing, and voiceover by Nitro Nick. For more information, visit spyderauto.com or find Spyder Auto on Facebook.